Okay, so this is in terms of actual tips and different tricks that you can use. I find that the way that one of the most significant changes has been the taskbar, and what I mean by that is down here along the bottom, you're very familiar with the taskbar already from previous versions of Windows, but it definitely works a lot better than previous versions because you don't get this endless clutter that you used to on previous versions. You would, if you opened up a browser and you had a lot of browsers open, you would have a lot of little icons, and they eventually start becoming smaller and smaller and unreadable, and you had no idea what was eventually open on there. But now you can have a sort of discrete area in which all the program icons list, and then they actually start stacking up. So if you had multiples of something, so if, let's say in Word here, so what I have, Outlook will open up one of your tickets, Brian.
What was
Nothing bad, but as you can see here,
that seemed to minimize rather quickly.
Right.
You guys suck.
So it's funny that you said this. What I'm doing is I'm hovering over the icon, the docked icon here, and then what you get is these little representations of whatever it is that's open. In this case, it's the whole inbox of Outlook, and in the other case, it's the actual email contents themselves. And you'll see that there's just, they start stacking up behind each other. But if you hover over them, then you get as many views as you have windows open for that program. So you could have, the whole screen could be filling up with those. And then what you do is, if you want to look at it, you can just hover over it. As long as I park over that, then that's all you see at that moment. And the same thing goes for anything else that's open here. So as I'm going along, you see a preview of every one of these, and then you see the contents, and if you want to just see those contents, you can click on it, and then you're just seeing that. Okay? Now, here's the other thing, is if you don't like the position of these, you can rearrange them. All I'm doing is just holding down the button, the left mouse button, and I'm moving them around. And if you also right-click on here, what I'm getting is a jump list. By right-clicking, I'm seeing some options. I'm seeing things that I've recently viewed, which is definitely more convenient than going into the program and then seeing what I ran in it, because I'm seeing the preview of it right here. But I also have the option to pin this on the taskbar or unpin it from the taskbar. So if it's something I use frequently, or I'm using it frequently that day, it doesn't have to be something permanent, I could pin it, I could arrange it however I want, and I can unpin it whenever I want. So there's things that I use or not use depending on what I'm doing, and this gives me all that capability. So I found that the way that the taskbar works now is definitely much better than in previous versions of Windows. Now, one of the things that we'll talk about is some of the options on the right-hand side, the system tray and notifications. We'll get to that in a couple minutes. So what we showed was hovering over and showing the jump list, and then moving the icons around and peeking, which is what I'm doing right here. It's just peeking at the various ones on the screen. Okay.